Hey everybody, this is Nicole. So I just wanted to stick this little, maybe little, video in, with my resin pour video, uh, to kind of talk about how sometimes days can be really tough. Uh, Today was one of those days. Um, I did not sleep well last night, and depending on how new you are to my channel, I have discussed the fact that I do have PTSD, I do have bipolar 1, I have anxiety, and I do have panic attacks. I do have agoraphobia, and it usually takes a lot for me to leave the house. I do leave the house because I have to. As a mom, and because of the chronic illnesses I have, I do need to leave the house. So it's not something that I can just, brush aside and be like, I'm never leaving the house. But today was exceptionally bad. Um, I was not only tired, but I had some pretty violent nightmares. I won't go into any specifics just because it is definitely triggering, not only for myself, but I'm sure for some of you out there. But I just kind of wanted to share with you that everybody does have cruddy days, and today was one of those days for me. I did not get much sleep. I needed to do some school supply shopping. I got started late on that because I didn't sleep well. I slept very, very fitfully. And normally what happens is if I have a nightmare or a night terror, and I will, there's a lot of things that on self-care Sundays there are things that I will discuss. If there are certain specific things that you would like to, talk about, you'd like me to discuss as far as what I deal with, what the differences between a nightmare and a night terror is, what fibromyalgia is, what it's like to have bipolar and all of that stuff. Don't be afraid to put that comment in in down below, and I am more than willing to discuss that with you to kind of give you an idea of what it's like for me, because for everybody it's different. I will say that nobody is the same. For as far as diagnosis, there is a set like criteria to get diagnosed with certain things, but how each person experiences it, it depends on person to person. So in any case, last night I didn't sleep well. I luckily have found a wonderful friend who has been supporting me, along with my other best friend, who I've known since the 7th grade, who has been, supporting me with all of the things that I go through. But I didn't sleep well. I only got a couple of hours of sleep, which is pretty much par for the course. But I did have a horrible nightmare. I woke up, and usually when that happens, I will move from our master bedroom with my husband into the living room and fall asleep on the couch. And usually the change of environment will then make my brain kind of calm down. But it didn't. And I am exhausted. And then to make matters worse, so I went, we got the school supplies that were needed for my son, and then we went to have a extremely late lunch, a very, very late lunch, which may sound silly, but I was not exactly pleased with myself about. And then when I was ordering my son's meal and getting ready to take his meal from the counter, to the table to sit down so that he could eat it, I knocked over his drink. The entire cup of fruit punch went everywhere. It went down my leg, all over my shorts, all over the counter, and everywhere. And it was in front of a bunch of people, and I not only was I embarrassed, but I was angry with myself. I was frustrated because it was also dealing with the fact that I did not get a good night's sleep. I was dealing with the after effects of having a horrible nightmare, and then dealing with the anxiety of leaving the house, and then of course being in public, which is part of the agoraphobia, and then having to carry around a cane, which of course there's nothing wrong with using a cane, but it just definitely makes things worse. Or I guess not worse, is not, that's not the right word. It makes it harder to try to get things done. So I spilled the whole cup of fruit punch all over the counter, all over my leg, onto the floor, the ice everywhere. My slippers are sticky. My leg was sticky and wet. Luckily, the place that I ordered the food from was gracious enough to give me another drink for my son, but I was absolutely mortified. So just know that if you're having a bad day, you are not the only one. I had what I felt was a really bad day, but I came home and kind of consolidated some things, consolidated the bags as far as my son's school supplies, treated myself with I purchased some cinnamon rolls from Cinnabon for us to all share later on this evening. And then I filmed the resin pouring, which I will be uploading. And then hopefully you guys will enjoy seeing that, because it seems like that's something you guys really like seeing. The thought process for me on how I make this particular art form, and how I use it as art therapy. And then tomorrow we will be doing the unmolding, and one of the items, which is a jar, is actually something that is for one of my friends. So I will be giving it to her later on this week, and I hope she likes it. And then I don't know if you've noticed, these are faux fur cat ears. This is, as you can see, gorgeous artwork. I know a couple of friends who this is what they do for a living. This is how they support themselves. Just like people who dye their own yarn. They, I mean, if you want to, I'll take them off. I mean, it's a lot of shading and trimming, and this is faux fur. It's not real, and it goes on a headband, and it's something that I also like to collect, along with these kinds of phone cases. I also enjoy Decaden phone cases. I have bunches of these, and my kids and my husband laugh because it makes my iPhone weigh a ton, but these are things that I really enjoy. It makes me happy. So this is other things that we'll talk about on Sunday, but yeah, so I thought I'd kind of stick this in there to let you know that everybody has cruddy days, and today for me just happened to be one of those days. And I hope you enjoy the resin pouring video that I will be posting with this particular video that I'm going to merge together. So as I say with my with all of my videos, please subscribe, like, comment. If there's things that you would like to see, you would like me to talk about, anything at all. If you know, I am an open book. Reach out to me. You can DM me. My email is in the description box. And I do have a giveaway going on. I would love it for everybody to enter. And then, of course, the more subscribers that there are, and then, of course, the more support I can get through purchasing through my Amazon wish list, Etsy wish list. If you want to send me tips through Venmo, Cashapp, or Coffee, that will also help with supporting me and my channel, so that I can then turn around and giving back to you, because I made some extra items, resin items, with the pour that I did, so that I can also use those items to do another giveaway, which I have planned as well. So again, until next time, I hope you enjoy the video that I have tied to this one. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye. Everybody, it's Nicole again. So it seems like everybody really enjoyed my resin pour, and so we're gonna do another one. This one was specifically requested by a subscriber. So this is actually a custom item. I'm going to be making the jar and lid again, and then just as an extra, I'm gonna make a tray to kind of go together as a theme with that. And then I'm just gonna make an extra tray just for the fun of it. So so the trays I'm gonna do as a petri dish, like you guys saw in previous my previous video. And then the jar is going to be using glitter and mica pigments. So the subscriber that actually requested the jar selected some of the colors, and she selected some pinks and blues. And you know, if there actually is something that you'd like me to make, whether it's like trays like this, or a jar, or I've got several other molds, you can definitely send me an email, and I'm more than willing to make one for you, and make it to your liking. I've got like every single color under the rainbow that you can select from. So so for the we're going to start with the trays. So for the one tray, I'm going to try to match sort of the same color scheme as the jar. So she went with some dark and lighter pink colors, and then with some fine glitter that did a little bit of contrast. So we're gonna kind of go with that. And then with the second tray, I'm just gonna kind of pick what I think looks kind of fun. So we're gonna do the petri dish first, and then we're gonna do the jar second, because I've already poured the resin for the trays, because it usually takes a good 5 to 10 minutes to mix the resin ahead of time. So I figured I'd save some time in that case. So these are the colors that we're going to use for the tray, one of the trays. So one, is going to be ocean. The other color is denim. And then berry, apple. And then I'm going to use this pearl celestial color, and this is It's kind of a blue silvery color. I really like, this is like one of my more favorite colors. And then of course we'll be using the white as the pusher. And there won't be any glitter added to it, just because that's, and it looks like it got some glitter here. I'm just gonna pick out the glitter. I don't know how the heck that happened. So, any case, I apologize for that. So, so here we go. We're gonna go ahead and do the alcohol ink. And like I said, I just kind of throw things in there and see what the alcohol ink does with it. So, so here we go. So this is the Celestial, and this one I shake. There's a ball in here, because of the kind of alcohol ink it is. You'll see when I drop it into the resin what it looks like. And of course I got it all over my hands, which is pretty par for the course. Today's been a rough day, to say the very least. So, and then like I said, I usually do 2 layers, because if you put too much of the alcohol ink, sometimes the resin will not cure properly. So, and then this one is apple. Denim. And then the usually takes 24 hours to cure hard. And so tomorrow I will unmold everything so you can see what it looks like completed. So this is berry. And then ocean. And I try to fill in empty spots, if that makes any sense. So there's like no like empty areas, because the ink itself will move, and it's not me moving the ink. It crud. It actually is the ink itself moving by itself, and I don't know, the nozzle must have been clogged. So like I said, art is messy, and that's okay. Crochet obviously is a little different. It's not necessarily messy like this, but that's all right. I don't mind. Okay, so we're gonna repeat the process all over again. And I do my best to try to stick to trying to remember where I put the inks to begin with. Sometimes it's easier said than done, depending on the color. And of course, it depends also on how many colors I choose to use. Sometimes I use just like 2 or 3 colors. Sometimes I use 4 colors. I mean, you know, the choices are endless as far as what you want to do. So it's all about, you know, what kind of look you're looking for. So yeah. So I try to remember to close the lids as I go along, because then and then of course put it back, because I will be choosing a different color palette for this second tray. And you know, if you don't remember where you put it down, that's okay, because it'll end up looking interesting. And there's nothing wrong, you know, there's no I always say there's no like wrong or right way to do whatever you want with your art. Some people, like I said, have to have certain things done a certain way when it comes to art. I am not necessarily of that thinking, because as you see, maybe you see all is just bleh. But tomorrow, you never know. It may not turn out looking like that. So I'm going to put the pusher down, and you know, the way it looks will depend on how much of the pusher you end up putting down on the piece you're working on. So so there's that. Now let's work on the second piece. So I try not to go with too much blue. So let's choose something different. So I'm going to pick something that maybe I don't always work with. Because as you know, my favorite color is blue. And I don't necessarily want to always stick with that. So we're going to go with something different. Okay, we're gonna go with 3 different colors. Okay, so I've picked mum, ash, and then eggplant. So we're gonna go with the eggplant first. And I don't mind that there's all these little sprinkles here, because fun stuff. This is the mum. Oops, sorry about that. And then this is the ash. Okay, that's layer 1. Now we're gonna put the pusher down. And again, like I said, it's up to you how much of the pusher you want to put down. It'll make the look, however it is, turn out the way you want it to turn out. But I usually try to make sure that I get the color of or the pusher on every single drop that I've put down. So let's see here. All right, so we're back with the eggplant. And I don't know if you can see how the ink is kind of moving around. But that's the alcohol ink doing its thing. And as I said, we'll see how it looks tomorrow when the resin has cured. So I did the ash, and then now we're gonna do the mum. Okay, so we're gonna put these alcohol inks back. And then the pusher. Okay, so that's that. Now we're gonna work on the jar. So I have got 4 cups of the pre-mixed resin that are all, there's no color, there's no glitter in them. So the person that asked me to make the jar for them selected a couple of different colors. So the colors that they picked is first is creamy pink, French rose, electric blue, and then azure. All right, so as I said before, try to remember to do your best to use a clean popsicle stick, or sometimes they sell plastic spoons. I do popsicle sticks because they're super cheap when you go to the craft store. You can buy like a bajillion of them for like a couple of bucks. So I'm gonna take each color, and I'm gonna put them into each of the pre-mixed resin. And then she picked out a couple of different glitters, and then she also said to see if I can do a little bit of contrasting glitters as well, so that things kind of pop when I pour them, and then when it's done, so you can kind of see what it looks like when everything kind of pulls together. Because I'm gonna do a more of a, you know, like I did the last time, a layering of everything, so you can kind of see all the different colors. So like this is what the mica powders look like before they get added into the resin. So, and then like I said, the more you add to your resin, The more opaque you get, you can add less for a a clearer look, depending on exactly what you're looking for. So I tend to add a lot because it comes out really opalescent, really gorgeous. I really like working with mica pigments. So here's another one. So each of these are going to be kind of layered accordingly in for the lid and for the jar itself. So she picked this fine iridescent glitter, and then I thought that this fun, more fine slash chunky mermaidy color glitter would work well. And then this fine blue glitter, and then this pink fine silver pink and silver glitter. And then I also have a little bit of these like, I think it's diamond shaped glitter. So first I'm going to mix the mica in with the resin. So then you can kind of see how, you know, each one turns out. And make sure, you know, you always mix it well, because you don't want clumps. It's kind of like when you're cooking or baking, you don't want clumps of, like, you know, like say if you're baking, you don't want clumps of flour or batter or whatever it is, you know, when you're making stuff. So make sure you do your best to mix it really, really well, because otherwise you'll end up with something that does not look very nice. I'll add the glitter after I'm done mixing all of the mica powder in. So like I said, you know, if you would like something, reach out to me, send me an email, and I will I'm more than willing to work with you on making something for you. I've got tons and tons of different kinds of molds, not just what you see here. I've got large trays, I've got small trays, medium-sized trays. I've got fun things like this mold, which is a large this sakura kunai that I've poured, and I've done it where, if you see this here, where I put like pink or white or blue or whatever ribbon on the outside, and then it's more of a statement piece. It's not anything that you can actually like use per se, but it's nice to just have. So we're gonna keep mixing, because otherwise I'm going to end up wasting resin, and that has happened where the resin starts to cure, and what that means is then the resin starts to harden, and then I'm screwed. That's it, it's done. I can't use it anymore. It starts to turn hard. So this is this. I do plan on hopefully at some point opening my own Etsy store. I don't know if anybody would be actually interested in anything that I make, honestly. But so here's the pink, or one of the pinks, and then do the last pink. So I'm trying to work really quickly here. And then in my head, I'm trying to think, okay, well, which glitter is going to work the best with what, so that I can pour as fast as I can. So, and then obviously to get each of the glitters to pop with the mica powders, And then again, tomorrow we will unmold everything so that you can see what the finished product look like. All right, so we're gonna do this iridescent. I think I'm gonna put a little bit of it in everything because it's just iridescent. And I have a ton of glitter. I do also have lots of mica powders. Oh, and I also have this nice baby blue color. So I think I'm going to add it to the dark blue that I have, if I can get this thing open. I keep bumping the stupid camera. Sorry about that. All right. So this is the mermaidy color. I think I'm gonna add it to the light blue. And maybe the light pink. Not a ton of it, but just enough to give it a little bit of kick. And then we're gonna do this fine glitter. Add it to that turquoisey color. You can never have too much glitter. You just gotta be careful because there have been a couple of times where I poured glitter and it's like, holy crap, I didn't mean to put that much in there. All right, so then there's this diamond one. I'm just gonna add a little bit to the darker blue. I don't usually like to buy glitter that's in shapes, but this one looked like fun. All right, so now this silver and pink one, I'm gonna add it to both of the pink ones that I've got. All right. So, and a lot of these actually, you know, I've gotten from actual makers that they make their own glitter mixes, usually small businesses, and then, or I get them as samples. So, yeah, if you ever are interested, I can, you know, definitely help you find places to buy glitter. Just because glitter's fun. The only thing is like, I'm sure for those of you who have children, glitter gets everywhere. So as you can see, like, it adds this like really nice, on top of the iridescent, it adds a bit of something. All right, so it's already starting to get warm, so I know that it's starting to cure, so I need to get a move on. So as you can see, it adds and then this is the last one. All right, so we're gonna pour. I apologize for my hand blocking. All right, let's do the blue. This is the darker blue. And then the lighter blue. And I think actually, let's see, is this mold all the way full? Not quite. We're gonna fill it up a little bit. Go ahead and try to get, because I know the reason why it's not all the way full, because I can see the bubbles coming up. And I'm trying to also move this back onto the silicone mat so it doesn't end up like everywhere. Okay. This pink. And I'm probably gonna have leftover. If I have leftover, I'm going to use it to pour it into something else. And also make sure that when you are like pouring into molds, that you do pour to the top, because otherwise then you're gonna end up with wonky looking pieces. So there's this one, and like I said, for me, no rhyme or reason, because I am going to put the popsicle stick in here and kind of move things around. And yes, I know it's like getting everywhere, but that's okay. It actually looks like I poured just enough. That was about 8 ounces of resin. And I'm going to move this out of the way because I see that it's dripping. So I'm going to use a clean popsicle stick to kind of stir this around. I really do hope you guys enjoy seeing me do this, because this is like really satisfying for me. It really brings me a lot of joy. To be able to show you guys how much I enjoy this, and then tomorrow show you what the end result turns out to be with all the steps that you saw that I did. Because, you know, as I've said before, you think that it's going to turn out one way, and sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't, and it's I find that that's okay, because it's kind of like life. My old supervisor used to have this, like she said, like there was this saying, like I think she says, um, man plans and God laughs, or something to that similarity. So essentially, the idea that you might have all of these plans and whatnot on what you want to be able to do, and it doesn't always work out that way. And also not concerned about this like overspill and stuff, because uh, you know, when I pull it out of the mold, yeah, I will be sanding it down and all that stuff. Oh, it looks like actually I have a little bit of the pink left over this here. What can I put this into? Is there enough to put it into this mold here? Probably not, but we'll try anyway. I'll show you here in just a second. Because I don't think it's quite enough, but that's all right. Because it's already starting to cure, because it's starting to get really thick. And I'm all right because it's not like a crap ton of resin. Yeah, not enough. But that's all right, just because it's not a lot of resin. Now I have like literally wasted sometimes 8+ ounces of resin, and I will get really upset because, as I say, it's like really expensive. Um, this isn't so bad. It's like just a couple of ounces. So here, I'll show you. It's this small. It's not even close. But that's all right. So yeah, so that's me pouring this. Tomorrow we will unmold everything, and you can see how everything turned out. So until tomorrow, I hope you enjoyed everything. Like, subscribe, and turn the notification bell so you can see when I post the video for the unmolding. And I do still have a giveaway going on. It's running until August 2nd, and so I hope you enter it, because it's a really awesome giveaway. I'm giving away my some of my resin items, along with a Mary Maxim mystery bag. And so yeah, so if you want to go back and check it out, I will try to remember to put the link to that video in the description box, so that you can go ahead and watch that particular video and learn how to enter, because there are certain things that you need to do in order to enter. So until tomorrow, I will see you then. Bye bye, and talk to you later.